So I want to talk a little bit about the Tyree Nichols case. Of course, Tyree Nichols is a young man, Memphis, Tennessee, that was just beaten to death by 5 officers we know that have now been charged with murder. And the aspect that I want to talk about is this. There's been a lot of talk and discussion about the fact that these 5 officers were all black. And of course, Tyree Nichols is a black young man. But here's the point. So many people are making a big deal out of the fact that they were all black. Almost as if to say that this is different than all of the other cases that we've seen throughout the years, where most of those cases involve white police officers dealing with, black citizens. And here's my deal. Here's my take. This case is really no different. I mean, because the whole thing about black officers versus white officers is really a difference without any real distinction. And what I mean by that is this. This result is not the result of the color of the skins of the officers. This result is about the color of the uniform, that being blue, and the badge that these officers wore. And so in that regard, they're no different than their white counterparts. But here's the thing, it's never been about color. And it's not about color, it's about culture. It's about a mindset. It's about a mindset that says, although we've been sworn to serve and protect, we're above the law somehow. We're able to somehow treat citizens any way that we want to. Treat citizens with impunity. Treat citizens, in a way that, we would never want our family to be treated. We would never want our children to be treated. It's a mindset, it's a culture, and it's a culture that exists in most police departments throughout the United States. Now, of course, we always have to acknowledge that there are fine officers on the street. No one's making the argument that each and every person wearing the uniform, wearing a badge, they're out doing all of this harmful stuff. No, I'm not making that argument. I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm not making that argument because I have encountered officers that do the right thing. I have encountered officers that they're about the right. They're trying to help. They're key to our community, and we understand that and we get it. But what I am talking about is this pervasive culture which continues to produce these horrible results over and over and over again. And that's what culture does. Take, for instance, if you think about the athletics and sports arena, there are teams and organizations that they have a winning culture. And so those organizations, they consistently produce winners. They consistently produce positive results. Now, on the flip side, there are organizations that have a losing culture. And so they consistently produce losers. They consistently produce bad results. It's no different in this police, in this law enforcement arena. There is a culture. There has to be a culture, because otherwise, how in the world would we explain the fact that big departments, small departments, rural departments, urban departments, all across these United States, different people at the head, different actual individual officers on the streets, but yet consistently, year after year, they consistently churn out these horrible results? It's culture. It's not color. It's not color. It's not about the color of the officers. It's about the culture, and it's about the mindset that produces that culture. It's about a law enforcement culture in these United States that believes, and listen, how can you fault them for believing that they're somehow above the law? and that they somehow can get away with these things because over and over and over again, they are above and beyond the law. Over and over again, they do in fact get away with these things. And so who can blame them for believing that? It's not about color, it's about culture. Don't get caught up in the fact that these were 5 black officers and there was a black young man involved. If you're going to get caught up in anything, get caught up in the fact that there's a culture, there's a pervasive culture in the United States of America that consistently produces losing situations. Losing situations wherein everyday citizen, what Sly Stone would call everyday people, are losing their lives every day. And that is problematic. And that should be unacceptable to each and every American citizen. Not about color, it's about culture. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions or any commentary, please reach out to me. I'd love to hear it. I love to hear both sides of these things. I love to have something prick my conscience so maybe I can see things differently. But until then, just remember, if you have to be guilty of anything, be guilty of greatness. My name is Corey Scott. I am a criminal defense attorney here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Reach out to me, call me. I'd love to hear from you. Take great care.